The brutal execution of Prince Vasylko outraged all of Rus. Monomakh called upon the Sviatopolk to march on Kyiv and right this wrong. Without wasting any time, they gathered their army and sent their men to Sviatopolk for an explanation. He tried to justify himself, saying that it wasn't him, but David who had blinded their kinsmen. "But it happened in your city," the envoys replied. The next day, Volodymyr, David, and Ola prepared to march against Sviatopolk. He wanted to escape, but the people of Kyiv wouldn't let him go and, knowing Monomakh's kind heart, began to beg him not to start a new war. "Do not destroy the land of Rus, for if you start a war among yourselves, the pagans will rejoice and seize our land, which your grandfathers and fathers gathered with great effort and bravery." The princes agreed to make peace and forgave Sviatopolk for Crimea. He, in turn, blamed everything on David and promised to punish him. Meanwhile, Volodymyr Rostislavich, Vasylko's brother, forced David to release his brother by force, and so Vasylko returned to rule in Terabavlia. However, the desire for revenge did not leave the Rostislavich brothers. So, after gathering an army, they marched against David. They burned David's city of Sevelas, brutally killed its inhabitants, spilling, as the chronicle says, innocent blood. And David locked himself up in Volodymyr. Princes Volodymyr and Vasylko began to demand that David's advisors be handed over to them. David handed over the wrongdoers. They were hanged and shot with arrows. The Rostislavich left, but a new misfortune awaited David. In 1099, Sviatopolk, bound by an oath, marched to punish him and was already stationed in Berestya. David rushed to the Polish king the Ladislaw for help. The Ladislaw, after taking 50 gold hryvnias from him, stood on the bank of the Bug River and began negotiations with the Grand Prince. After receiving rich gifts from Sviatopolk, he advised David to return to his own domain. And the Grand Prince laid siege to Volodymyr. After holding out for 7 weeks, David capitulated and fled to Poland. But after taking David's Volhynia, Sviatopolk couldn't resist the temptation to add Halakina to it as well. However, the Rostislavich were not afraid and, meeting Sviatopolk at the border of their land, defeated his retinue. The chronicle says that the blind Vasylko rode out before the army with a cross, reminding Sviatopolk of his oath. And this made an impression. Many devout people saw a cross high above Vasylko's warriors. Sviatopolk ultimately fled to Kyiv, the ancient capital city.